you bitches. I told you bitches. Janet and Bobby Brown was humping around. I told you bitches. I told you bitches. Shiz, y'all didn't want to believe me. Y'all was like, no, Janet would never mess around with that scallywag. Never. Y'all know I love me some Janet. I love it. Okay? But the truth is the truth. She wanted that Bobby BD. Did y'all see that, what was his name? Woody McCain? Oh my goodness. Now y'all know I got a crush on Woody. I've always had a crush on Woody because he's funny. And I think he is, like when I see him, I see Bobby. Okay? And I always wanted to get busy with the Bobby. Who didn't want to get busy with the Bobby? I wanted to get busy. Anyway, guys, listen. Let me get into it because I'm wasting a whole lot of time talking to Bullsnip. But let's talk about it, right? Last night was the Bobby Brown, what was it called? The Bobby Brown story. And it was 2.5 hours long on BET. Let me say this first. You know, I didn't say it a lot of first thing. But wait a minute. Hey guys, this is Nay. Follow me on IG, Periscope, Twitter, Spreaker. Support me on Patreon at Nay Rob on YouTube. Don't forget to like this video, share this video, comment respectfully, and subscribe. Now, let's talk about the Bobby Brown story. Okay, guys. All right. So, anyway, BET, I need you to do better with your audio. As long as BET has been in existence, I don't know why there is a problem with their audio. As huge of a company, conglomerate, whatever you want to call it is, why does BET still have problems with their audio? And y'all know what I'm talking about. You looking at the movie and you listening to it on volume 15, right? And you be like, why I can't hear this movie? Why do I have to turn this shit all the way up to freaking 72 in order to hear this movie, child? And then when the commercials come on, they be so loud, the neighbors be knocking on the door talking about turn that shit off, right? But BET, I'm going to need you to get that audio together. I don't know why, whenever a movie, that child going forever, ever. So anyway, the movie opens up in Orchard Park in 1980. Now, also, guys, don't forget, I read the book. Also, I did a review of the book, and I will put the review of the book link in the description bar so that you can, go through that. So it's going to be a lot of things that I'm going to point out that wasn't put in the movie. So for the record, I'm going to say that the book is absolutely better. And I don't know if Bobby Brown did it like that so that it would make you buy the book. I'm not sure, but the book is better. So anyway, getting back to what I'm supposed to do. So 1980, the movie started in Orchard Park back in Boston, right? And it was at the point where his friend had got stabbed on a Humble trying to protect him, right? That was in the book. I remember that. That was sad, right? So then we get to the casting right quick. And I know you like, Nay, you out of order. But listen, the casting was pretty good. Mekhi Phifer portrayed his big brother Tommy perfectly. Mekhi Phifer just represents the black man to me. And now that he done picked up weight, he's always been fine, but he don't know how to keep his hands off of people. That's my problem with Mekhi Phifer. But he's turning into still like an attractive older man, even though he has picked up weight. The same little boy that was Bobby, they basically used pretty much the same cast, except for I seen Tatiana Ali was in there. She was the little boy's mother who was stabbed in the beginning of the movie. The mother was the same. T.K. Kirkland, he was a comedian from back in the day, guys. I love to see older actors working. He was Bobby Brown's dad. The same Big Mouth Mama was there. Let's see. So yeah, we talked about his best friend getting stabbed and dying over a bike. Absolutely ridiculous. Just some things in life are just a shame. So After that point, it went straight to when Bobby Brown was kicked out of New Edition. He was 16 at the time. I didn't realize how young he was, but at the time he was 16. Now remember that while he was over there in California getting busy with the busy part, he had a baby with, what's the little girl's name? Malika, right? So when he came back home to Boston, he had to make a way. I guess he didn't want to go to a 9-to-5 job, so he started selling drugs. Now, the way that they portrayed it in the movie, Bobby Brown was not the hand-to-hand guy. He was the lookout. It was his drugs, but you know how it is. You know, you the captain of the ship, and then you be having soldiers. So I guess the soldier, if anybody want to catch a charge, it's going to be them and not the captain of the ship. You know how it go if you know anything about the street life. So anyway, the mother, like I said, that same big mouth, loud mouth mother, she was a piece of work. That mother was absolutely a piece of work, because I don't know why black mothers are always depicted as loudmouth and always fussing. Guys, we got to do better. We have definitely got to do better, because that is not how always you communicate with your children. You know, I understand that she was a strong mother, and I think, they did talk about her selling drugs, and Bobby eventually called her out. But when she was younger, she sold drugs, but her frame of mind was, I'm doing it to protect, to take care of my household. Bobby, you selling drugs because, you want to floss, okay? So then we get to a conversation that Bobby Brown had with the mother, that talking about, the differences and, why she was selling drugs and why he was selling drugs. But Bobby had pulled a gun out of the closet, and the mother said, listen, you pull that gun out and you take it out the door, you're going to have to use it. That is the stone cold truth. If you got that blicker in your hand, it's going to come an opportunity that you're going to pull it out, period. That's why I be like, don't ever, guns are not your friend, especially in the hands of teenagers, because teenagers it's just scary. It's just scary. So then, when that part came up, and Bobby went out the house with the gun, who was that? Gerald Busby, and I think it was, Tank. Tank was Gerald Busby again, and he came down to the hood because Mama called Gerald Busby and was like, look, you gotta come get this. You gotta give him a record deal or something. So Gerald Busby came down, look, I got a deal for you, all right? And that's when Bobby was like, he has always been smart financially, it seems like to me. But that's when Bobby was like, oh no, buddy, Buster, no. If we got a deal, you don't want to give me that New Edition deal, because that New Edition deal sucked. I need my own deal, and I need it to be vibrant and fluorescent. That's what I need. Busby was like, whatever, okay? What the hell ever, because I ain't coming back down here again to come get you in this, project with this ghetto. I can't come down here. So then that's when Bobby Brown had went to his brother Tommy, Mekhi Phifer, and said to him, hey, look, I need you to be my manager. Tommy was like, Mekhi Phifer was like, that's not my judge. I don't do stuff like that. I don't do that. Bobby was like, Tommy, you're smart. You went to college. Tommy was like, I went to college for journalism, not managerialism. I'm not doing that. He was like, look, I trust you. Okay, so then now they back in the studio, and it's 1986, and The King of Stage has come out. Y'all, yes, I like that album better than Prerogative. Let me tell you something. Prerogative turned me on, made me hot and horny as a teenager, but that daggone King of Stage, it's just something about it. But anyway, Bobby didn't like that, bubblegum, music. He really didn't like that. So then he's doing the girlfriend video, and Malika, the first baby mother, pops up, right? And he like real short with Malika, like, what you doing here? You getting on my nerves, blah 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 blah, right? So that, and Malika is Landon's mother. That is his oldest child. Yes, that's his oldest child. And then let me tell you something. But we'll get to that. We'll get on to that. But anyway, Bobby had made it very clear, I ain't with this bubblegum shit. Y'all can do that with somebody else. It ain't for me. I'm trying to be sexy. I'm trying to do what I need to do, right? So then him, Bobby Brown and Ralph was together, and they was listening to, what was the beat on it? I forgot. It was like a tight beat. It was something. It was Dougie Fresh and Slick Rick. Excuse me, Dougie Fresh. Yes, that joint was cranking. And then he met with the producers, L.A. Reid and Babyface. I don't know what the hell or who the hell they was. That they looked terrible. Whoever it was, casting was terrible for L.A. Reid and Babyface. Was they with what? I think they was with The Deal. That was when Babyface and L.A. Reid was together with The Deal. I always think of you on 2 occasions. That's day and night. That's what I think them was. Yeah, they was The Deal at that time. So, they, who was that? Was it the manager or was it Alonzo, something like Lazo, whatever his name was, the one that got hit with the belt in the movie, in that Tyler Perry movie by Regina King, and I think it's Alonzo, something like that. But anyway, he had also said this when Bobby was like, damn, I missed my point. Hold on, y'all. Oh, Alonzo was like, don't worry about how Babyface and L.A. Reid look, just go ahead. They make music. They bussin', right? So I'm thinking to myself, I could see how him and Janet got together because they were messing with they were helping Janet out also. So I could kind of see how they cross paths. So for all you disbelievers again, they cross paths. You know why they cross paths? Because they pretty much had the same producer, so I could see it. But Bobby Brown was like, no, I need a funky beat. Something they could dance to. And then that's when he hooked up with Teddy Riley. And let me say in the book also, he had said that Teddy Riley didn't get any credit for My Prerogative. He was the person who worked on My Prerogative. So I'm glad that he gave Teddy credit in the movie. So then they get to the video part where they do I Wanna Rock With You, Baby. And child, I was so turned on. I said, God damn it, that Woody McCain. Gee. I looked at my wife and was like, wifey, what you doing right now? You know, and she was like, what you doing? I said, well, wait a minute. Let's wait till after this movie going on. Because you know all them scenes where that Woody McCain was getting it, he was getting it going to the zone that entire movie. I was like, Woody! It was like I had to clutch my pearls, y'all. I was like, Woody! So anyway, they did I Wanna Rock With You, Baby. And I'm always say, I said, why don't they do remixes anymore? You could get double work from that one album. Like, I don't understand. Like, is remixes EPs now? Like, I don't understand that. Why don't they do that anymore? Because y'all know how it is. He had the first My Prerogative and then he remixed it and it was even better. Child, I don't know. So then so let me say this. In 1988, he got with, that was when he got with Teddy Riley. I forgot to put that date in there. So now we at the point where he is opening up for New Edition. He ain't worried about it because he know that he the man and he's going to surpass New Edition or, you know, something like, because, you know, his ego was enormous. That's because he's an Aquarius, and you know what is an Aquarius. Aquarius will always be the boss. So, this is where they do the My Prerogative video. We get to 1989 where he's doing the Tenderoni video, child bang, and he had this girl named Kim pregnant at the time, right? So Kim is pregnant. Woo, child, I still get a little flustered when he was remaking that Tenderoni video, I was like, she's so child. This is when he, the police said to him, listen, Bobby, Don't be simulating sex around here, god dang it. Don't be doing that here in the state of Georgia. We don't do that, okay? Georgia been the shits for a long time. Atlanta has been the shitsnit for a long while, okay? So then he didn't keep it clean because he pulled some hussy up on stage, even though his baby mama was in the back, big and piggy. He still, got busy with her. And I said, oh, Jesus. And child, they arrested him. Next minute, his record sales are through the roof. So then he get to where I find out in the song, now that you are here with me. He was, in the beginning part, he had this dialogue where he was like, my angel, you know who you are. Child, his angel was friggin' Janet Jackson. He was like, I kind of got a crush on this girl. So that's why he sang that part. That part was real because he was like, you know who you are. Child, he was talking about Janet Jackson. Jesus Christ. Who knew? I swear, I was like, who is he talking about? Child, I thought it was Whitney, but it was Janet all this time. And they had to keep their relationship under wraps. We'll get into that later on because Bobby still, he protected Janet. Because believe me, it could have got worse. So anyway, we get to the part where he's in a Ghostbusters movie. He was like, okay, I take a little... No, he said, I'll do a song for it, but you need to give me a part in the movie. Child, when I seen Ghostbusters and I seen Bobby Brown, I think it was the bellhop. Oh my God, I almost jumped out my skin when I seen him in that movie theater. I was like screaming, and I love that song. I love the song, child. He in the trailer, trying to think of the words for the song. And he got like 3 girls in there tearing them both up, okay? You hear me? Tearing them both up. I said, oh my God, Bobby. I know that new wife was getting the Holy Grail smashed out of her. You hear me? The Holy Grail. So then they get to this part where Janet and Bobby Brown are in the hotel room. Now this is where they protected her. They getting it on. Again, them sex scenes, Bobby. I don't know if you was, coaching Woody. I don't know, but I said, damn it, Woody. Woody only 29. I'm like, damn it, Woody. Okay? But anyway, I can't think about that damn Woody and them sexual healing. It's 17 minutes in jail. Okay, so then we get to where him and Janet are in the bed and they retracting the sex scenes or whatever, right? So they laying in the bed together, right? And Bobby's like, what's popping? I really, love you. I care about you. What are we doing? And Janet is looking at him like, what the... Me and you, what do you think? This is a fling. And then he was like, so you really going to marry that dude? I think they talking about... Yes, they are talking about Renee Alejandro. That's the backup singer. Child. But they didn't point out, they didn't say, this is when Bobby protected her. She pissed him off so bad because she was dismissive of his feelings, because Bobby had said to her, you're not marrying me because I'm black, right? Or I'm too black. You supposed to be in control, but yet and still you still letting your father control you. What's popping? What's going on? And come to find out, when they did the movie, like I said, they was trying to protect the I guess Janet Jackson's image. Child, he threw her out naked with just a robe on. Some sheets on. So he threw her out the hotel room with a sheet on. They didn't show that. Like I said, they trying to protect their image. And plus they did not mention the fact that Joe Jackson did not want Janet with a black man, because in the book Janet said, my father won't let me marry a black man. I said, ooh. So now that's why everybody upset over Janet Jackson and Bobby Brown and blah blah blah. But for real guys, to be quite honest with you, it may not even be that. She might just be using that as an excuse, because sometimes some people are just good for what they good for, and it's the D. I'm looking at them damn scenes there. I'm like, it just may be the D. And she probably is smart enough to know, listen, I don't want that drama. She probably knew that he was a cheating, dirty dick motherfucker. That's why she didn't want to go there with him. So I'm not mad at Janet over it. Okay, she might have said it, but for real, how many times you done said something to a motherfucker? It's not you, it's me. How many times you didn't say something to a motherfucker that you was like, look, you know, you a nice person and everything, but I can't do it. I'm moving to, I don't know, Neptune or something. You just want to get away from him. So anyway, this is where he, oh yeah, and it was more situations where he was in his feelings, and he's like, at the award show, this is where him and Whitney supposedly had hooked up with each other. But he's at this award show. What was the show that they booed her in? And I seen the Whitney documentary, and they said that people were booing her. If I remember correctly, if I'm not right, put it below, because y'all ninjas love to correct me. But what they said was, it was I think it was because they said that she wasn't black enough, or that she was catering to the white audience, so that's why they booed her. And then that's when Bobby was like, listen, you good, Whitney. Don't you let them boos bother you. And right before that, he had just told his brother Tommy, no more industry chicks. So then now we at the beginning of Whitney and Bobby. It was a terrible Janet. I did not like that Janet, and I do not like the Whitney. Now, I like the Whitney as an actress because I remember her. She was Renee on the show The Game. If y'all remember that, it was like a spinoff from the show Girlfriends. And remember, Darren got a girl pregnant. She was the girl that got pregnant by Darren that, broke up the damn show. Melanie and Darren. That shit ruined it. That shit ruined the show. So anyway, we got Whitney and Bobby. And let me tell you something. The only sign that can put a Leo, Whitney Houston, in this place is the Aquarius. Remember that. So we have the baby mother of LaPrincia. What was her name? Oh yeah, Kim. So now they on tour and everything. And Bobby did talk about in the book how he was so disrespectful to his baby mother Kim that he was so disrespectful to his baby mother Kim, because Whitney would just follow him, but Kim would be on tour with him because he wanted his children there. Okay, they didn't depict that in the movie. I know you like, well, why is she there? But in the book, Bobby Brown was like, I want my kids there, and you just so happen to be the baby mother, so here you go. And I'm sure when Whitney wasn't there, he was crawling in the bed with Kim, okay? So then Kim was like, look, you disrespecting me, and you being a whole ninja with this. So then the family asked Bobby, what's taking you so long to marry Whitney? Okay? And he, after that point, he get to where he was babysitting LaPrincia at Kim's house, right? That's the second baby mother. And Kim just came in and just, jumped on Bobby and was like, Bobby, I want that old thing back, girl. I don't blame you, but, a DDMF is a DDMF, So they humping and bounding. Next minute, they find out later on that the hussy is pregnant. Kim, you're pregnant. She probably did that on purpose. That was so spiteful. He messing with Whitney. Why? But they young. Everybody young and dumb. So then when he's doing, or he's trying to do the song Getaway, we found out that Whitney Houston is pregnant. A lot of stuff happened in this movie. We are on 23. A lot of stuff happened in this movie. Real talk. So then we get to the point where Bobby is like, let's put our money together. I love Whitney. Whitney loves me. And if you remember, there was a point in the beginning of their relationship where a lot of people thought that Bobby Brown was just riding off of Whitney Houston's money. What he pointed out in the book was this. At the time, and this is facts, guys, at the time that they started dating each other, Bobby was riding off of my prerogative. Bobby was worth more money than Whitney. So yeah, after a while he became she was making more money than he was, but in the beginning he was the money maker, not Whitney. He didn't need Whitney. Whitney didn't need him either, but he was still making enough money to be able to take care of himself. So then now Bobby finds out that Kim is pregnant. Oh Lord. Oh God. So now, did he ask Whitney to marry her? Did he ask Whitney to marry her by then? Yeah. Because Whitney was mad that she was like, oh, so both of us pregnant at the same time? And it hurt because she had a miscarriage with that first baby on the set of The Bodyguard. So then we get to the part where we like, why is Robin here? Why the hell is Robin here? Why is she always here? Let me tell you something. That was great casting. You hear me? That was great casting because I'm still confused. Now listen, Bobby Brown himself said that Robin and Whitney did not have a relationship. That's what he said. Okay? And I don't know if he was doing it just to protect the relationship or the maintain the integrity of Whitney Houston after her death. That may be what it is. But everything about that Whitney documentary said that Robin was her zhuzh. Okay? Great casting for Robin. But, hey, look, hey, it is what it is. So then we get to 1992 at the wedding. Now, this is where I was like, this is a terrible lead up. Because he was nervous at the wedding, okay? And then all of a sudden, Alicia, the one who is his wife now, knocks on the door, and he's just like, come on in, Alicia. What was the lead up? How did y'all get to know each other? How is she here, Ike? Why is she here, Ike? I don't understand that. So, Bobby, that was friggin' terrible. But for the record, so you'll know, this is a part of the book, so you'll know, and I know this is longer because I'm adding in all these different things. But Alicia she was a dancer, and she was in the Rex-N-Effect video with Teddy Riley playing the saxophone. So he met her, like through the industry. He knew her here and there. His man was Teddy Riley. That's how they knew each other. That's how they hooked up, years ago. But the way that they just introduced her, it was like, where the fuck she come from? So he in the bathroom, his brother knocked on the door. Tommy is like, come on out, Bobby. You can marry Whitney Houston. What are you doing? He wouldn't open the door. But then Alicia walks up, his wife now, and just taps on the door. Now, all of a sudden, oh, come in, Alicia. What? Get the fuck out of here. That was crazy. It just wasn't structured. I didn't like that lead up. So, Bobby did say in the book also that he did not know that Whitney that Whitney sniffed cocaine until the day of their wedding. And he fell in love with her even more. When he seen it, walked up on her, tooting that booger sugar, he was like, okay. And Whitney was like, look, from time to time I do coke. I don't know why in the hell Bobby Brown was excited about that, but he was like, let's hurry up and get married. God damn it, let's get into that booger sugar. So for the record, Bobby only was doing weed, according to him. He didn't get with the heavy stuff until he got with Whitney. So then now she's pregnant. They doing a hump around video. Whitney Houston is pregnant. They doing the hump around video. Bobby Christina is born. And then one day Bobby came home late, right? This is what's confusing to me. Bobby Brown came home late one day, and Whitney Houston didn't let him in the house. He ended up over Landon's mother's house, Malika, right? Malika mentioned Carl. Landon, Bobby Brown's first son, and I'm telling you, that little boy that was playing Landon, that had to be Landon's son. I don't know. I'm going to take time and look it up, but that little boy looked just like Landon, just like his oldest son. So I wouldn't be surprised if that wasn't his grandchild. But what was funny was the little boy had said, Mommy, is Daddy coming home? Landon was calling Carl Payne his father. Now, you know that Malika and Carl Payne are not married anymore now, but dig this. They left this part out. Carl Payne is Cockroach from The Cosby Show, right? And if you remember the Girl Next Door video, and I'm sure all of y'all heard me say this before, but I'm going to put it with this. The guy who was the girl who was pursuing the girl along with Bobby Brown was Carl Payne. Him and Carl Payne were very cool. That was his boy, okay? Carl was in the video with, from the girl next door. But the thing about it was Carl Payne saw how Malika was being treated. Bobby Brown was shizzing on you. Basically, Carl Payne was like, look, Bobby ain't going to treat you right. I'm going to treat you right. Just come over here. And that's what happened. So Carl Payne you can't steal nothing when you're treating it like trash. So let's move on. So then we get to the point where the mother and father receive a notice to vacate from the Atlanta home. And the reason why is not at the point where they don't have no money. It's just that Bobby Brown is not taking care of his business the way he's supposed to. Why? Because he's doing all that booger sugar. Because when the parents went to Tommy and blamed everything on Tommy, Bobby's oldest brother, you're supposed to be taking care of him. And he around here not paying his bills. What's going on? That's when Tommy was like, look, Ma, look, Dad. Bobby around here doing all that booger sugar. He can't keep his life together. The parents looked at him like, look, you fixed it. So then one day they're over the house. Robin and Whitney were in the room together. Bobby said to Robin, look, I don't know what your purpose is here, but it's over. Robin looked at Whitney and was like, you gonna let him talk to me like that? And she ain't say nothing. Now, this is the crazy part. If Robin and Whitney were girlfriends or secret lovers or whatever the case may be, if them three was, having threesomes or whatever, because Whitney Houston did say that Bobby Brown's sex was off the cheesy. I don't know. I don't know. It seems like it's possible because I'm like, Robin didn't have no girlfriend. Like, she ain't had nobody, no boyfriend, nobody that wasn't like, come from over there. What the hell you doing over there all the goddamn time? Come from over there. Get here. So it was just strange to me. But what I think that if it's true that Robin and Whitney were screwing on each other, the reason why Bobby allowed that relationship to be there was because they were doing threesomes at times. So that's what I believe. And sometimes when a relationship is getting too close, when that third party is getting too close to the one of the two, they be like, man, you get out of here. This ain't working right. So then Tommy comes over to the house and say, I need to talk to you. He like, come on downstairs to the basement, to the Booger Sugar basement. Welcome to Basement Booger Sugar. It's cocaine everywhere, okay? And Bobby and him get into it because Bobby don't want to stop doing what he doing. I'm in control. Matter of fact, you getting on my nerves, Tommy. You keep talking that bullshit to me. You fired. I need to get a better manager anyway. He was like, all right, cool. If that's how you going to carry things, that's how you carry it. And on the way out the door, he was like, LaPrincia's birthday is today. And you need to, you bought her a bike. I said, oh my God. So then now we got the MCA reunion and the money for New Edition. Actually, you know what? I take it back. That's what Tommy proposed to Bobby Brown in the Booger Sugar basement. That's why he came over there in one or two of the first places, right? He was like, look, we got a reunion for you. We got to try to get this money right again because, like I said, it's not fucked up. He's not desolate like while he was when he was sleeping on Corinne Stephen's couch. But, the notice to vacate the house is happening in the Atlanta home. But Tommy was over there in the Booger Sugar basement because he was like, look, MCA want to do a New Edition reunion. He was like, okay, they're going to give you $1 million, Bobby. You gonna do it? Bobby was like, $1 million? Shit, I need $6 million. Tommy said, you can't get that, Bobby. You can't get $6 million. He was like, you know what? You fired. And that's how Tommy got fired. My bad. So then he goes back to Boston. People, when they, in a downward spiral, they always want to be connected to nigga shit. And his sister's boyfriend, that was Lance Grossman. What is his name? The little fine dark-skinned dude that, all he do is work for Tyler Perry. They was together out at a bar. The way it looked like the sister's boyfriend, Lance Grossman's character, was already in some bullshit. He was already in some bullshit. And it just so happened that them people popped off on his ass when Bobby was with him. So that was a situation that happened there. And pretty much that's where it ended to me. So I was kind of mad at the movie because it was like on a long time. I was like, oh my God. And I was sleepy and it lasted till 11:30. I'm like, God damn it. But it was a lot that happened. Okay, guys. Sorry it's so long, but I had to get everything in there together. My bad. And sorry it's the audio, but I can't. I'm not in the mood. Okay, guys. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Have a good one, guys. Deuce.